What's going on, Raider Nation? It is JT coming at you with a breaking news episode of the Raidercast, your podcast for everything silver and black. Now, today is a new day. I did not post anything yesterday because I needed to get the loss out of my system. I could think more clearly and less with my emotions and more with my brain. So I'm cooled off now. I'm over the loss, especially after seeing the Broncos lose to the Seahawks last night. That was wonderful. Became a Seahawks fan for 3 hours. But looking at the Raiders now, we've had some pretty important injuries happen during the Chargers game. Don't know how serious some of them are. Anthony Averett, we found out, is going to IR. So that is not good news, obviously, because he is our starter CB. So that means he's out for the next 4 weeks. So we don't have one of our starting corners available. So that's not good, which is why we went ahead and signed corner Nickell Robey-Coleman, which, you know, he's fine. He's decent. After with the way Amik played, I did not like the way Amik Robertson played the preseason. I did not like the way he played versus the Chargers. So getting Nickell Robey-Coleman, I keep saying Coleman. But getting him, you know, he's solid. His career, I mean, he's had like 3 career interceptions. His last full season, which, you know, he had significant snaps last year. He did not play a lot. Last in 2020, which was the last season he really had a full season. He played a lot of snaps. He had 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks. 0 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks, 13 stops, 38 solo tackles. A lot of passer rating of 124.2. But I believe he is a nickel slot corner, which makes sense because of his name. But you know, he's pretty good in the slot, and since we're moving Hobbs outside for now until Averett is fully healthy, with after, you know, hopefully he comes back just those 4 weeks he's out from his thumb injury. But for right now, we have Yasin and Hobbs on the outside, and Hobbs is a beast, and Yasin didn't play terrible, but he didn't play really great last game. But I'm not super worried, especially against the Cardinals wide receiver core, which is very much diminished right now, with D-Hop and Rondale Moore possibly out as well. But I think this should be a fine veteran, corner to have. Obviously, we have Amik and Sam Webb as like backup corners right now, but I'm not super confident in Amik, and I'm not sure if we should be running only with an undrafted free agent rookie as our, only nickel corner, especially since he's not really a nickel, he's more of an outside corner. So if we were to run him, we would push Nate Hobbs inside and put Sam Webb on the outside. But you don't really want to have that for your cornerback room. So obviously making sense to get this veteran signing. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking. He's only to the practice squad right now, so he's not even on the full roster yet. So he might not even see game day. We don't know yet. This is just a for now signing until we get Anthony Averett back, I'm sure. But definitely stinks losing Averett, and we're also looking at another corner, but I'll get to that later as we didn't officially sign them yet. However, there was another injury that came at the very, very end of the game. Andre James went down with a concussion after the last play of the game, so he was brought to the hospital. Obviously, we don't know his status right now. He was back in Las Vegas yesterday, so he was obviously cleared to go to Las Vegas, but that doesn't mean he's allowed to play because he could still have a serious concussion, but was well enough to go back to Las Vegas. So the Raiders have signed center Billy Price, former first-round pick of the Bengals, to the practice squad. Now, I saw a lot of people like, oh, he's not really that great. I honestly think he is just fine. Taking a look at, his past, he only allowed 2 sacks last season as the Giants center. He played a good amount of snaps last season. It looks like he played a good amount of snaps, only 5 penalties. The reason why he was cut from Cincinnati, though, is he did not look good on that, not so great O-line of the 2020 season. He was not a very good center at all for the Bengals, but last season for the Giants, he looked a lot better. Obviously, 5 penalties is pretty good. 2 sacks allowed is not bad at all, especially after 985 offensive snaps, which is a lot of snaps, and not a lot of sacks allowed. And he had a pretty decent PFF score, which I know is not end-all be-all. A lot of people have problems with PFF grading, but that's his PFF grade. Pretty decent, 62.3 from last season. So I'm not too mad about the signing. It's just a practice squad. Obviously, probably evaluating where Andre James is at. But I wouldn't expect, if we do have Andre James go down, maybe we'll see Billy Price move up to the starting center spot, or put Parham in and leave Billy Price to, still be on the practice squad and learn the system before he's put into a game day situation against the Cardinals in less than 5 days. So we'll probably, if Andre James is not playing Sunday, expect Parham to begin at center, and then Billy Price to continue to develop. And it's honestly not a bad pickup. In all honesty, that's a pretty decent. If you can get that first round talent out of him, that's why he was picked first round, because he had a pretty good career at Ohio State. If you can get that first round talent out of him on the practice squad, we should be set at center, especially since Parham had such a great game at right guard against the Chargers. But looking forward to the other, not signings, but workouts we had. We worked out Raider legend, offensive guard Kelechi Osemele, and then we also worked out cornerback Vernon Hargreaves. Kelechi Osemele was, like I said, a Raider legend. He was an All-Pro in 2016. He, had a really great career with us. He hasn't played football since 2020, though, and he's 33 at this point. So it's not like it wouldn't be a great insane signing unless he can go back to that 2017-2016 form where he was a Pro Bowler and All-Pro. However, the last season he did play. It was a limited number of games because it was only 5 weeks. However, he didn't allow a single sack, 5 penalties, and had a pretty decent PFF grade. Again, I know that's not the end-all be-all, but just to give a rough idea, he had a 59.8 last time he played, which is solid for an older lineman. In 2019, he had a 56, but he didn't play a lot of snaps, so there's that. But in 2018, which was the last season with the Raiders, he had a 58.5, 3 sacks allowed, 4 penalties. 3 sacks allowed isn't great at all, really, but 4 penalties is whatever. But he definitely had a great career with us, as I just talked about. And then Vernon Hargreaves, again, could be a solid vet signing for the cornerback room that we have right now. We have a lot of young players in the cornerback room. All of them under the age of 25, I think, at this point. All of them under the age of 25, I'm pretty sure, or at least 26. It was a very young room to start with. I think we definitely need some veteran presence back there, but his last season last year, he had a pretty good, pretty decent season, 1 interception on 30 targets, allowed 20 receptions, so that's obviously not that good. But he had a pretty mid performance. He wasn't world beater, obviously, because he was a waiver signing. Oh no, he's a free agent right now. But could be something, could not be something. I mean, I'm kind of hoping we get Kelechi. Maybe they're not liking how John Simpson played. In my opinion, just to go a little off topic now of what we're just talking about, I believe this past game was almost like a preseason with the starters for them. I'm not saying they didn't take it seriously, but they were trying to see what worked and what didn't, which is why maybe Carr did not look so good. Maybe the O-line didn't look as good as even though they didn't look bad, they didn't look great either. That's why the offense came out super flat other than that first drive, and just didn't look great the rest of the game. Stuff like that. They were moving around the O-line a lot, so maybe they treated the O-line as a preseason game because they were trying to figure out where they wanted to put people. They had Parham at right guard, they had Khan at right guard, they had Illuminor in, they had their Munford played snaps, so it's just like they used it to see where they were at in a real game situation against a really good team, and the fact that they did that and still came within 5 put some positivity in me. Definitely gave me some hopium, injected me with hopium and copium. But, you know, I think we've definitely played well against the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday, but that's for another video. I just wanted to give you guys some news update and my opinions on these signings and workouts and stuff like that. But I hope you guys had a great day. I appreciate all you guys' support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm almost to 106 subscribers away. I don't know what to do for a 100 subscriber special, but maybe I'll do something fun. I don't know yet. I haven't really thought it out, even though I should have. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and peace out, Raider Nation.